Hey, what's up YouTube? This is part 2 of breaking down and rebuilding the fish room at the same time. Today, gonna take out these 3 tanks. They've been sitting for a number of days now with the water shut off, and I've already ripped out, all the fish obviously. Most of the plants and stuff that I actually want. Everything else in here is pretty much junk, but it's time to go. Should be relatively easy, no real cutting for the most part. Everything has quick connects that should be able to just unscrew and take apart. So super excited about this. Get these tanks outside, get them rinsed out, and start taking this whole rack apart so I can finally move on to at least setting up the 90 gallon, which is going to be pretty fun for the most part. Going to use the siphon real quick here just to drain out the water. Yeah, I'm not using a hand pump. Old school. Don't hate on it. It is what it is. The nice thing is I do have a walkout basement, so obviously these tanks aren't big and heavy. It's not like I'm moving some of these bigger tanks, but it is nice to just be able to walk the water right out back and get rid of it, and do the same thing with the tanks. I can walk them right out back, put them down in the grass, and get ready to rinse them. So this process should be extremely quick, and I'm very thankful for that. So happy that I use these quick connects. Made the assembly originally real easy, and it is making this takedown even easier. The holes I drilled were big enough, they slide right through, so don't even have to cut them off at this point. Makes everything reusable if I decide to use them later or sell these things to somebody. But I'm now one step closer to getting this fish room to a place that I really like. So happy to rip this all down. This isn't a chore. This is enjoyable at this point. These tanks here, super dirty, because I knew I was going to be doing this. I kind of let the tanks go, especially when there was no fish in them for almost a week and a half, if not maybe even a little longer. But while we're out here, let's check this out. This is looking amazing. Got all kinds of flowers growing, which I'm super happy with. Some kind of bulb there. But look at all this floaters doing great. This whole pond setup's doing amazing. The aqua clear is doing a great job, along with those spider plants that are stuffed inside, rooting out. May switch it over to the FX6 at some point, but not too sure. Now the only thing to do inside here is going to be take off this old hardware, this custom hardware off the FX6, and put back on the original stock stuff. And it should be simple, should be super simple and easy. Screwdriver and slap the parts back on. There's nothing crazy here. I may have to cut the PVC pipe that's back there though, just because it was all fitted in and it's all glued into place, and I'm pretty sure I won't have enough room to snake out the whole system, but not an issue. So you can see here the clip, the original FX6 part, and a screwdriver. Like, there's nothing there. That's easy stuff. Had to put it on the front of the tank for now. There's not enough clearance between the wall and the back of the fish tank, because I never designed it to have this on the back of it, so it's going on the front for now. But it doesn't even make a difference, because this is going to stay here for a day or two. Have one outlet facing upwards just to get some surface agitation, the other one facing down just for circulation. Should be just fine. And again, the 90 gallon is going to go on top of this stand. FX6 is going to go inside the cabinet. I'll take out that shelf, and these drawers are just going to make it so much easier to store all my extra supplies instead of storing them in the other room. Keep all the fish food there as well. And it's just going to be such a cleaner look than this industrial metal rack, just to have the 90 gallon set up. The 40 gallon brackish water tank, I'm pretty sure, is going to move down onto that other smaller rack, so it'll look pretty good. This tool here is a PVC cutter, cuts all kinds of different ABS tube plastics. Let me tell you though, doing all this custom hardware that I've done to mess around and learn on, this thing has been a lifesaver. I've used Sawzalls, hand saws to cut this stuff, and it's always a mess when all those fibers go everywhere. This thing, super clean cut every time, precise. You don't have to worry about it bouncing. You don't have to worry about your battery charging on, your Sawzall or whatever you're using, and it doesn't take a lot of pressure. One hand, couple squeezes, cuts right through the plastic. I don't care what brand you have or what brand you can get your hands on. Any of them are probably going to work fine, but I would definitely recommend it as a must-have tool if you plan on doing any kind of custom work or DIY stuff or just trying something new. And this is what was behind there. Papers on there to always just check for leaks. This way, if the paper's ever wet, I know I got a leak somewhere. But that was the setup that was there. To try different water flows. Everything was interchangeable, so I could have the spray bar on top, water coming out the bottom, or just have the elbow on there if I wanted to dump out. There was a valve on there at one point to regulate water flow, but took that off recently. But yeah, it was just fun to make at the time, but just wasn't the setup now that I want anymore. But that's the cool thing about the fish room. It can change all the time. Guys, like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it.